Have you ever thought about what really happens behind the closed doors of a nursing home? Maybe you've visited one. Maybe you know someone living in one. Or maybe, just maybe, you've even considered the possibility that one day it could be an option for you. But before you make any assumptions, there's something you need to know. Because the reality of nursing homes isn't always what they want you to believe. For years, we've been told that nursing homes are safe places, full of caring staff, comfortable rooms, and proper medical care. A place where seniors can relax and be taken care of in their later years. But what if I told you that not all nursing homes live up to that promise? What if I told you that behind the warm smiles and fancy brochures, there's a much darker side that few people talk about? The truth is, while some nursing homes are great and filled with dedicated professionals who truly care, there are far too many that are understaffed, underregulated, and in some cases, outright dangerous. And the scariest part? Many families don't realize what's happening until it's too late. Let's start with one of the biggest issues, neglect. You'd think that with all the money people pay for nursing home care, residents would be receiving top-notch attention, right? But in many facilities, there simply aren't enough caregivers to go around. Imagine this. A resident presses their call button because they need to use the restroom, but no one comes. Minutes turn into hours. By the time help arrives, it's too late, and that person has been left in discomfort and humiliation. And this isn't just a one-time thing. It happens over and over again in facilities across the country. And what about medical care? Most people assume that nursing homes are full of skilled nurses ready to help at a moment's notice. But the reality is, many nursing homes rely heavily on undertrained staff who are stretched way too thin. Medications get mixed up, injuries go unnoticed, and sometimes serious medical conditions are ignored until they become life-threatening. Residents who need specialized care often don't get it, simply because the facility isn't equipped to handle it properly. Then there's the issue of isolation. Many seniors in nursing homes feel completely alone, cut off from the world. Even when family visits are allowed, they're often short and infrequent. And for those who don't have regular visitors, loneliness becomes their everyday reality. Studies have shown that social isolation can be just as harmful to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's heartbreaking to think that so many seniors spend their final years feeling forgotten. But perhaps the most shocking problem is one that no one likes to talk about: abuse. It's an uncomfortable topic, but it's one that needs to be addressed. Reports of physical, emotional, and even financial abuse in nursing homes are more common than you might think. Some residents are mistreated by overworked or frustrated staff, while others fall victim to financial scams carried out by the very people who are supposed to care for them. It's not all doom and gloom. There are good nursing homes out there, and there are ways to protect yourself or your loved ones. But the first step is knowing the truth. Because when it comes to something as important as your health, your dignity, and your safety, you deserve to have all the facts. So now that we've pulled back the curtain on some of the biggest issues lurking inside nursing homes, let's talk about how these problems actually happen, and more importantly, how you can protect yourself or your loved ones. One of the biggest reasons nursing home neglect is so widespread comes down to one simple thing: money. Most nursing homes are businesses first and care facilities second. And like any business, their goal is to maximize profits. Unfortunately, that often means cutting corners, fewer staff members, lower wages, cheaper food, and minimal medical resources. Think about this. The average cost of a private room in a nursing home is over $100,000 per year. That's a staggering amount of money, yet many facilities claim they can't afford to hire enough trained caregivers. Instead, they bring in underqualified staff, sometimes even people who have little to no medical experience, and expect them to handle multiple residents at once. The result? Overworked caregivers, stressed out nurses, and residents who don't get the care they need. And here's something even more shocking. Many nursing homes aren't properly inspected. Sure, they're supposed to follow strict health and safety regulations, but in reality, enforcement is often weak. Some facilities go years without a proper inspection. Others are given warnings ahead of time, which means they have time to clean up and hide problems before inspectors arrive. And even when violations are found, the consequences are often just a slap on the wrist, a fine here, a warning there, while the same dangerous practices continue behind closed doors. Now let's talk about something even more heartbreaking: the impact all of this has on residents. Imagine being in a place where you can't fully take care of yourself, where you rely on others for everything, from meals to medication to simply getting out of bed in the morning. And then imagine those caregivers being overworked, impatient, or even indifferent to your needs. It's no wonder so many seniors in nursing homes feel powerless, ignored, and even afraid to speak up. And that's exactly what some facilities count on. Many nursing home residents don't have family checking in regularly, which makes them even more vulnerable. They might not feel comfortable reporting neglect or mistreatment because they fear retaliation. And even if they do speak up, will anyone listen? Will anything change? But here's where you come in. Whether you're considering a nursing home for yourself or a loved one, or you just want to be aware of the warning signs, knowledge is your best defense. There are specific red flags that can signal a nursing home isn't what it seems. One of the biggest? Staff turnover. If a facility is constantly losing employees, that's a huge warning sign. High turnover usually means the working conditions are bad, which almost always leads to subpar care for residents. After all, if a place can't keep its own workers happy, how can they provide good care for the people living there? Another red flag? The smell. It sounds simple, but trust your nose. If a facility smells like urine, feces, or just has an overwhelming stench of cleaning chemicals, that could mean residents aren't being properly cared for. A well-run nursing home should be clean, fresh, and sanitary. And then there's the attitude of the staff. When you visit, do caregivers seem rushed, frustrated, or indifferent? Or do they take the time to interact with residents, ask about their needs, and treat them with dignity? You can learn a lot just by observing how staff members engage with the people they're supposed to be caring for. But perhaps the most important thing you can do is stay involved. If you have a loved one in a nursing home, visit regularly. Ask questions. Pay attention to changes in their behavior, weight, or overall well-being. Because the sad truth is, many problems go unnoticed simply because no one is paying close enough attention. It's not about scaring you. It's about empowering you. The more you know, the more control you have. And when it comes to something as important as your health, your safety, and your dignity, you deserve nothing but the best. Now that we've uncovered the hidden dangers lurking in nursing homes and how to spot the warning signs, let's talk about what you can actually do to protect yourself or your loved ones. Because the truth is, while the system may be broken in many ways, you are not powerless. The first and most important thing? Know your rights. Too many seniors in nursing homes are unaware that they have legal protections. In most countries, residents have the right to be treated with dignity, receive proper medical care, and live in a safe and clean environment. They also have the right to voice concerns without fear of retaliation. If you or a loved one ever feel unsafe, unheard, or mistreated, speak up. Contact local ombudsman programs, elder care agencies, or even an attorney if necessary. Another crucial step? Do your homework before choosing a nursing home. Don't just rely on brochures or a quick tour where everything looks spotless and perfect. Dig deeper. Check online reviews, but don't just look at the star ratings. Read the actual comments from families who have had loved ones there. Look for patterns in complaints. Are people mentioning neglect? Poor communication? Staff shortages? These aren't just one-off issues, they're red flags. And when you visit a potential facility, go beyond the surface. Instead of sticking to the designated tour route, ask to see areas they might not usually show, like hallways away from the main entrance, the dining area when meals are actually being served, or even a resident's room with their permission, of course. Listen to your instincts. If something feels off, trust that feeling. But what if you or a loved one are already in a nursing home and things aren't quite right? Here's where being proactive can make all the difference. Frequent visits are key. When staff members see that a resident has family or friends regularly checking in, they're more likely to provide better care. And don't just visit at the same time every week. Come unexpectedly. See how things operate when they aren't expecting visitors. Ask questions. If your loved one's medication routine suddenly changes, demand to know why. If they seem more withdrawn or anxious than usual, ask them directly. And if they hesitate to answer, that could be a sign of fear or mistreatment. Keep an eye on their physical condition. Are they losing weight? Do they have unexplained bruises? These could be indicators of neglect or even abuse. And remember, document everything. If you notice a pattern of poor care, keep a record. Write down dates, times, and specific incidents. Take photos if necessary. If things don't improve, report it. Nursing homes don't want bad press, and when enough people hold them accountable, changes can happen. Of course, nursing homes aren't all bad. Some provide excellent care and truly value their residents. If you find a good one, hold on to it. Build relationships with the staff. Show appreciation for the caregivers who are genuinely doing their best, because at the end of the day, those people make all the difference. But if you're considering alternatives, know that you have options. More seniors today are choosing to age at home, with the help of in-home caregivers, family support, or even senior co-living communities. There are also assisted living facilities that offer more independence while still providing necessary support. The key is to plan ahead. Don't wait until there's a crisis to start looking at options. So here's the bottom line. The dark truth about nursing homes is real. But the brighter truth is that you are not powerless. By staying informed, asking the right questions, and being proactive, you can ensure that you or your loved ones receive the care and dignity you deserve. If you found this information helpful, let us know in the comments. Have you or someone you know experienced challenges with a nursing home? Share your story, it could help others avoid the same mistakes. And if you want more eye-opening content like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon beside it to get notified on our next video. Comment, share, and like to this channel. Together, we can shine a light on these issues and make a difference. Take care, stay informed, and never settle for less than the respect and care you deserve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And look for fresh videos every week.